Hey, welcome to Perkstream for April 13, 2022. Who do you say that Jesus is? Hey, thanks for joining me today on Perkstream. This is the last in our series, The Faces of Lent, and we're going to take a look at a most remarkable person. And what makes him remarkable is that he is a Roman and he is a pagan. He is someone who has other allegiances, and yet he makes the most incredible confession of all time. It's incredible enough that he had stood on that dark hill in the middle of a storm. It was amazing enough that he spent the time doing what he did in the face of all of the anger around him. But what is really, really remarkable about this Roman centurion who is standing on this hill at the foot of Jesus are the words that come out of his mouth after Jesus had breathed his last. He says, "Truly, surely, by all evidence, this man is the Son of God." Now, that may not sound very earth-shattering to us because we certainly believe that. But here's one of the incredible things. The first incredible thing is that this particular human being, this Roman centurion, is the only other human other than Mark from the beginning of the gospel that gives voice to that claim. So you might say, well, didn't people say this along the way? Well, the only people who actually say it are people who are possessed by demons. It's the demons saying it through these people. So these humans of no volition are making a confession because the demons recognize who Jesus is. And you could say, well, Peter made that confession. And I said, no, Peter actually said that he was the Messiah. And Peter had his own concept of what the Messiah was, and that had nothing to do with the Son of God. So here we are at the beginning of Mark. We have Mark's confession that this is the gospel of Jesus the Christ, the Son of God. And here at the end, the only other human voice is a pagan Roman centurion who says, truly, this was the Son of God. What do we do with that proclamation? What do we do with the fact that he says that in his, it's put in his mouth? Author Walt Wangren wrote an imaginative portrayal of the centurion as part of the larger work he did on the life of Jesus. And what he imagines is that this is a centurion that not only did he make this confession, but he was also the centurion who oversaw the capture of Barabbas. The Barabbas who was released to make Jesus go to the cross. And that after the resurrection of Jesus, he decided to muster out of the Roman army and go to Antioch and become part of the church there. I wish that that was not fiction. I would truly wish that that was not a fiction, but that this Roman actually musters out and joins himself to the Christian community because he recognized that this was, in fact, the Son of God. But now we add one more layer to that, and that is what he said, and the fact that he recognized it in that moment meant that he was now a traitor to Rome. You see, every good Roman knew that the Son of God was Caesar. There was only one person who had the right to make a divine claim within their humanity, and that was the ruler of all Rome. So this person, this pagan centurion who had given his life to Rome and would say with every other person, "Hail Caesar," all of a sudden recognizes that this person in front of him is the Son of God, not Caesar. His words are the words of a traitor. They are treason. So let's think about that for a moment. You know, it's a message to us because basically we live in a world that has decided that they are against the Creator. At one time, the human race rebelled against the Creator and took all life matters into their own hands. And in doing so, they declared that God is not king. Humans are. We are. And so Jesus came to make a way so that any human who desired to be reconciled to God could find that relationship through Christ's life, death, and resurrection. So to declare Jesus to be the Son of God and the Lord of all is rebellion against the world. It's a rebellion against the humanity that we are born into. And as rebels, reverse rebels, we now stand at odds with the world in which we live. And it's a place where we renounce human self-rule. We declare that human self-determination is invalid, that there is a king above all kings, and that king is Jesus, and he is the author and the creator and the true determiner of what is life. And at the time where our own culture is giving every individual the right to determine who they are, what they are, where they are, when we confess that there is another king, we're speaking treason. Now, do you think I'm going over the top? Maybe I am. But I don't think it's very far off, because even though we still live in a nation where we have religious self-determination, where we can associate any way we want, such thinking will not be tolerated very long. It is the history of the world, it is the history of humanity, that even when there have been great revivals that bring people back to the Lord, people slip away again and are enticed back into the world, and those who will not be enticed are silenced. That is the history of humanity. Humanity stands against God. The Apostle John gave us this word. He said, "Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in him." We have two powers that are clashing. And the power of light, the power of darkness, the powers of the Lord and the powers of the evil one. And we have determined as a humanity that we want our self-rule. But there's a way to come back into life the way that God intended, and that is through Jesus. But to love Jesus, and to love his ways, and to love his word, and to love his person, is to mean that we are saying no to the world, and the world will hold us accountable. So that leaves us with this question: what is your confession? Who do you say Jesus is? Is he a good man? Is he simply enlightened? Or is he the Lord? And if he is the Lord, and we lay claim to him as Lord, and he lays claim to us as his people, then we just need to know that the world's not going to tolerate it. But the good news is that the Lord, who calls us to be his people, is with us, and he has shown us that while the way is hard and can go through even the way of death, it results in new life, and it results in good news, and it results in things being reset to a way that God intended from the beginning of the world. So as we ask this question, who do we say Jesus is, just know that to answer it in the affirmative that he is the Son of God will put us at odds with the world, but it reconciles us to the Lord God. And eventually there's going to be a great reconciling, and in that reconciling, all things will be made new, and we will be with the Lord who loves us and gave himself for us forever.